Hello everyone, and welcome to this audio podcast. This audio podcast is part of LabZtorm Diggamount. This audio podcast is part of the Capola and Storm and Lobostics. This audio podcast is part of the Shipmo Squad, and this audio podcast is part of a Storm Lobostics production. So now, in this audio podcast, looking at some of the clinical factors and decisions to transfuse, to transfuse. So considering eGFR health, so estimated glomerular filtration rate health and blood physiology of patients or recipients who may require RBTs is important to achieving best practice more so in more recent times than previous, but also mainly owing to we're transfusing patients with reduced eGFR, eGFR, or patients or recipients with a CI chronic illness can further compromise eGFR function over time. And so with eGFR decline, this is an impact. This has an impact on overall on overall on overall on overall on overall treatments or treatment in overall treatments and in line to the use of overall treatment modalities. Patients then potentially becoming untransfusable. The causes of preventable transfusion associated complications are numerous and often occur because adherence to transfusion best practices have differed retrospectively. Um, the At the same time, guidelines inform that there is no sort of unified system that provides ongoing or region-wide education to healthcare service users and service providers. So in addition, the affinity of red blood cells for oxygen is modulated by regional acid base conditions to favor oxygen loading, and so therefore it is sorry therefore the ability of transfusion to the ability of blood transfusion to facilitate a transport of oxygen from environment to, for example, the energy cells within pathophysiology referred to as the mitochondria have also been repeatedly sort of investigated through physiology research, and so and so um, that draws this audio podcast to a close. This audio podcast as part of the LabZtorm and Diggamount. This audio podcast as part of the Coppola and Storm and Lobostics. This audio podcast is part of the Shipmo Squad, and this audio podcast is part of a Storm Lobostics production.